Oh, hey, man. Hey. What you doing over there? Oh, I'm just playing a game, man. Oh shit! Is that the new game? Just a game I got. Yeah, the new game that the new game. Just a game. Wow, what's up? Oh, man. Okay, I got you, man. I got you. So, hey, can I borrow it sometime? Borrow it? Yeah, like, give me, like, the cartridge. You want to borrow my game? How? The physical copy? Can I borrow that? Physical? Am I going crazy? The little thing, the physical, the actual game. Can I borrow that? Bro, who are you talking to? Just get a subscription. What? A subscription to what? Yeah. Physical. Bro, just let me borrow the game. Damn. After what was probably the worst communication and PR fumble from Xbox's part, I kind of felt the need to address the main selling point that Microsoft apparently forgot how to market. Look, I'll spare y'all with the memes about how underwhelming the 2020 Xbox Game Showcase was, but one thing really stood out for me, and it's apparently not being talked about enough amongst gamers, and that's the Xbox's Game Pass. Xbox's Game Pass is aiming to be the most pro-consumer choice for gamers around. During the conference, literally after them showing Halo Infinite's gameplay trailer, Microsoft dropped the biggest announcement of the day. They said that all games showcased that day would be coming to Xbox's Game Pass on day one. And that is huge. Not only because it opens up an extensive library of first titles to gamers for an extremely low price, but because it's not console exclusive. Many of these titles will be coming to the PC as soon as they release. Yes, even Halo Infinite. It's become evident that Microsoft no longer cares about hardware sales. It's basically common knowledge nowadays that video game giants don't really care about hardware sales as much as software sales. So it's very obvious why Microsoft is putting all their eggs into Game Pass's basket. Their only shortcoming has been focusing too much on the Xbox Series X and not enough on the subscription service. And maybe a tiny bit on game development, but who knows at this point. Regardless, the Xbox Game Pass is looking to be Microsoft's biggest moneymaker from here on out. And it makes sense. Just look at the way the entertainment industry has shifted. I doubt there is a single household in this country that does not have at least one form of a streaming service. Microsoft has begun the transition to what I believe will be the future of gaming, a fully subscription-based gaming platform. Although it does help that there are over 10 million subscribers to Xbox Game Pass currently. And I know, this will be met with huge backlash. But it's not surprising why Microsoft chose this business strategy. Think about it. A game costs, what, $60? In the future, this price will probably only increase with inflation. Well, as a business, you can charge that for one game a year. It's not uncommon to hear of just developers releasing one game per year. Or you can charge $10 to $15 every month or a year and basically double your profit and keep it a mildly consistent stream of money.
And that's free quick maths.
And now it's not only their pockets seeing the change. Think about brand loyalty. Consumers will look at Microsoft favorably and the Xbox to a certain extent because of the flexibility they're providing to gamers. They no longer care if you game on a console or a PC. They only care that you're playing games on their means. With competitors playing their cards very closely to their chest, and still going the traditional way of releasing games exclusively for their consoles, Microsoft is pioneering into a very new area of the industry that has yet to show very positive results. Kinda. 10 million is not a number to laugh at. But look, subscription gaming services aren't a new thing. We've heard of Nvidia's GeForce Now, Google Stadia, and Shadow. And even though these are strictly game streaming services, Xbox Game Pass poses to have a very different outcome than these have. And the main difference is that, well, they have Microsoft behind them. Having Microsoft behind them gives them access to major titles, and it already has an infrastructure in place to deliver these games. The amount of studios working on Xbox titles is growing, and the ability to have these available day one is something that is being overlooked by a few. However you paint it, this is a huge win for gamers. Well, except fanboys. But gamers that don't really care about a game being exclusive, I mean, we have an ever-growing accessibility to any and all games from Microsoft going forward. No longer do we need to commit ourselves and our money to a console that we may only use for a game or two. This opens up the possibility for the millions of PC gamers to now become Xbox fans and continue their subscriptions. And look, it's commonly known, keeping clients is way cheaper and more profitable than losing and gaining new clients. It's logical. It pays off to keep your user base happy, and adding to it is only going to help you further. Now, Microsoft's biggest hurdles to overcome is their communication around it. They need to focus and push more of the Game Pass than their next console. We're finding out every day that people aren't too excited about the Series X. If Microsoft is smart, they will change the conversation to the service rather than a console going forward. Now, this begs the question though, what do developers think about this? And I'm talking about strictly third-party developers or developers that don't necessarily work under Microsoft's umbrella. With a total subscriber base surpassing 10 million, this would mean that less people would now buy game developers $60 or $70 games, even less. What do developers think about this? Well, surprisingly, there are interviews where developers actually favor this kind of business model. Why? Well, mainly because it's not as unfair as other streaming services in other industries. If we look, for example, at the music industry and services such as Spotify, we see a trend of these streaming services taking advantage of artists' music. Currently, there's been data that shows that an artist's song on Spotify only earns them 0.00437 cents per play. Not even a cent. That's a fraction of a cent. That's a fraction of a cent. You know, this means that per 1,000 plays of just one song, the artist gets a measly $4.37. And I'm sure that's without counting taxes, publishing fees, management, studio time, etc. Nowadays, artists have way more expenses to make it big and to probably never see a profit. However, with gaming, things are a little bit different. For example, on Xbox Game Pass, developers get a flat fee to have their games on the platform. That meaning that Microsoft would pay you a certain amount of money just to have your game on the platform and for people to play it. It's basically a win-win situation. It used to be the case that in order to get your game on a platform, you had to know someone at Valve, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. But now we find ourselves in a situation where services like Xbox Game Pass need the content and games to be on their platform given the high demand for them. I mean, they got 10 million gamers to satisfy. That's not a small number. It will be interesting to see if competitors will begin to embrace this new norm. With Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PC this week actually, right? Let me check real quick. Yes, this Friday, August 7th. It seems that PlayStation may join the movement of no longer having their games be exclusive to the console. Well, maybe not anytime soon because of their strong library of exclusives. But it's not too far-fetched to think of this possibility. I mean, Nintendo have their own Nintendo Switch Online service that seems to be exclusive to Nintendo games up to this point. But With a growing dissent between the Nintendo community, one can only wonder if Nintendo will need to adopt this strategy out of necessity rather than preference. Whatever the gaming standard actually turns out to be, I for one love these services. I know there's a whole debate going behind you don't actually own the game, the company is just kind of licensing their game for you to play it. Ownership is a completely gray area. But I've discovered and played games that I would have never picked up if they were only available to purchase. Subscription gaming services such as Xbox Game Pass also turned me into a more daring gamer. I no longer have that fear of purchasing regret. I have to no longer worry about buying a game, hating it, and selling it for a reduced price, and at the end, having nothing to show really. With Game Pass, all I have to worry about is if I have enough space for Ori and the Will of the Wisps on my PC, which I should definitely upgrade if I ever want to play Halo Infinite. Wait a minute, is this Xbox's plan all along? Get us to upgrade our PCs? Are they in cahoots with Nvidia to sell us more graphics cards? I can definitely see why villains used to do this. Feels great on my beard. Anyway, I want to drop off the question to you. Do you think these subscription-based services will be the future of gaming going forward? I mean, with Xbox Game Pass, developers still have the ability to sell their games. Or do you think developers are not going to be too happy if this is the only way to make money? I mean, think about it. You're only getting a flat fee for one game. I mean, you can be getting $60 a pop for every single copy of the game. Me? I'm just happy I get to play games for $5 each month. That's it. It's not that deep. But folks, I've been True Fernie. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and also share it with a friend. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Every bit helps. Links to my socials are down below. Please make sure to follow me on Twitch, where I stream Monday, Wednesdays, sometimes Fridays, definitely Sundays. Follow me on all this other social media stuff if you like. Yo, you know what I saw the other day? Apparently Twitter's gonna be also subscription based. Isn't that wild? That Bird app is finally gonna start making some money. Take care of each other, but most importantly, take care of yourself. Peace.